Hello. So, I had a rib go out the other day, and if you've never had that experience, it is excruciating. I can't even compare it to anything else that can happen in your body. So, I wanted to show you that just because that happens doesn't mean you have to fully stop moving your body. It can be really beneficial to continue to move. My recommended steps, of course, are to first get it treated, because I find personally that if you have something like that happen, all the muscles and all the tissues around that area start to get all hyped up and inflamed and all that kind of stuff. So the faster that you can get in to see, say, your chiropractor to get it treated, the better that will be for you. And then from there, it's just that slow, releasing process and calming down those muscles. So if you're looking for something that you can do for a little bit of movement, no pressure on your arms and hands, here's a few of my favorite things. I always still start, and it's still really tight for me, just with some head nods. Arms nice and relaxed. Let's maybe just start with a few deep breaths even. If you are in the really acute stage where you can't even breathe, I would recommend not doing any of this at all, the video or anything, because any movement, especially just deep breathing, can hurt so bad. But if you're past that really acute stage, I welcome you to try anything that feels good, leave anything that doesn't. Focusing on our deep breath, we're going to place our hands on the sides of our ribs. And the reason that we're doing that is we're focusing on that expansion and contraction of our ribs, meaning that we're breathing fully into our lungs, fully into our diaphragm. And what that's also doing is actually stretching out our back, right? You think of how we breathe during the day, and it's very shallow or it's very stomach-based breathing. When we're breathing into the ribs and stuff like that, we're keeping them moving, which means that we're keeping everything from getting so tight, which hopefully keeps all those muscles active and working and makes it less likely that we have these things happen to us. And once we've let that stretch out a little bit, then we can go back to those head nods. And again, only go as far as is comfortable for you. I can't get my chin to chest right now. Right about there, it starts to pull. And again, because it was so acute, I'm just going to stop there. I'm not going to push it. I just want to make sure that my neck keeps moving. Sometimes when you have that tightness and tension in your back or your shoulders, you start clenching everything else, including your neck. And I want to stay loose where I can. Again, gentle shake out of those shoulders. Little look side to side. Only as far as I can. I'm not forcing it. Back to center. Again, just a little wave, a little rock it out. Continue with that deep breath. Let everything expand and flow and move. And we'll come into those cactus arms. Again, see how this feels for you. It might feel better for you to be laying down. I know that when I'm laying down, or when things are really activated, I can't actually lay down. It hurts with the weight. So see how this feels for you. If you'd rather lay down, you're welcome to do that. Or you can do those cactus arms here. Again, start where it's comfortable. Those shoulders are nice and relaxed. You don't need to pull them down. Don't need to hike them up. Just let them sit where they want. And again, your cactus might be quite closed. Try and think about that heart high. So even if you are closed, you're not rounding forward, because that'll keep stretching. You want that heart and chest open. Heart's nice and high wherever your arms are. And just breathe. you breathe, you can start to open a little bit. And just let those arms fall. Gentle wave, gentle shake out. Come back to those cactus arms. And it's up to you what feels better. You can keep those arms bent and just kind of up and down. If it feels okay for you, you can stretch them out. Again, I like to keep the movement, but I do keep it minimal. I can feel a huge tightness in here and almost like a clumping. So I'm trying not to overdo my movement. So I'm going to keep my arms bent. And just move with my breath. You might want to close your cactus a little bit more. Wherever you are, keep that heart high. Lift it through the neck and head. Someone's pulling you through the crown. One more, and then just let it fall. Again, that gentle shake. Also, you want to be really mindful while you're doing this, but I like to keep doing some version of a cat-cow. I find it really helpful to keep my pelvis loose because I also find when that rib is out, that whole muscle that comes down my back gets really tight and it'll start to pull on my hips. Again, super mindful, and I wouldn't overly round your upper body to push into that cat, because again, you don't want to overstrain and pop that rib back out or keep it from kind of settling. So I focus more maybe on the tuck of the pelvis. Again, you could do this laying down. Inhale to untuck. I lift my heart a little bit, let those shoulders fall open. Exhale, more of a tuck. Just lengthen through the upper body. And unwind. And the reason we're doing this seated is we don't want to place any weight. A lot of that rib issue can come from instability in our shoulders. Keep those ribs closed when we're opening. Right? Don't flare out, don't overextend. So we don't want to put weight on our hands right now. We don't want to put any weight bearing on our shoulders while we're letting that area settle and heal. And for me, for sure, it's an instability in my shoulders. You might be different. It's something to look into. You can over-exaggerate that tuck. Really stretch that area out. And then again, our gentle little rock. Bring yourself to lay down. I'm going to grab my strap. Totally depends on where you're at. And it totally depends on how you feel about using a strap. Roll yourself down as gently as you can, however you need to get there. And like I said, sometimes as I'm coming back, that weight and pressure is a lot. So even if you need to come down from the side, again, based on a weight idea, I know it seems counterintuitive, but I would come down on the side that you're sore on so that you're not putting any weight on that arm. Gently bring yourself down and onto your back. If this is super uncomfortable for you, again, stop. Don't keep going. There's no need. You can do some of this from seated. I just want to keep those legs loose as I find that they tend to tighten as well as everything else is tightening up. So if the strap feels okay for you, one leg can come out. Maybe hug that right leg in. Nice and gentle. We're not overdoing anything here. We're just keeping some movement. Sticking with our breath. I'm going to take that strap, wrap it around our foot. I like to cross it at the ankle and just a stretch. And again, be mindful here. Your leg might not want to stretch all the way out. You can keep a micro bend. You want those triceps to be fully resting on the mat, right? Because you don't want, again, that rounding, hunching feeling. So you don't need the same pull and tension that you might normally have when we do this stretch. Stay where it's comfortable for you. Active toes pointing at your face. Breathe. You can straighten a little bit as you go. That's fine if you want to work with your breath. You can bend and straighten. Long neck, relaxed shoulders, heavy. From here, if you still feel okay gripping the strap, let that leg really lengthen through the back. Feel as if someone's holding that heel. We're going to do our corkscrews. Know that you could also do a lot of this in your legs up the wall. Again, if maybe this doesn't feel good holding, you could do this with your legs up the wall. If you're doing it legs up the wall and you're doing the corkscrew, your other leg might be bent against the wall, just so you're taking pressure off the left hip and you're focusing on the right hip. So feel as if someone's holding that heel. Just take a big breath. Exhale. Twist to the outside. Heel stays in place. Toes twist to the outer line of your body. Inhale the center, exhale the inward. And again, only feel as good as feels comfortable for you. 3. And the reason that we're doing this again, same idea. 5 is just the pulling and the tightness. Your muscles start to tense up. They want to hold that rib in place, even though it's out of place. 7. Your muscles and everything around is focusing on kind of repairing and healing and fixing. But a part of that is it can hold things in the wrong place, which is, again, why it's good to get it adjusted as soon as you can. 1 more each direction. Nice big stretch. And then again, if it feels okay for you, we can do our little hip circles. If that doesn't feel great, make them small. If it doesn't feel good with your leg outstretched, you can do it bent with your knee. Obviously, your leg's up the wall, you can't quite do this. If you want to, you can scooch back a bit, or you can do it after. Switching directions. I just really want to get that hip socket moving. So again, why we're moving the hips, why we're doing the corkscrews, is just that tightening and the way that all of your muscles interact and the way that they move throughout your body. It is one long line that comes from the shoulder through the hip and down the leg. There's a huge line of muscle, and we're just trying to keep that kind of loose. Let's take one more big stretch, whether it's your strap or your hands, or if you're just doing it free. If you're in your legs up the wall, just focus on lengthening through that heel a little bit more. We just want to keep, again, our body loose so that as the upper body relaxes, everything's not tightening and tensing. Let's release that leg. Hug the knee in again for a second. So if our legs are nice and loose and relaxed, switch sides. As our upper back starts to relax, think about an elastic. If you're holding it in tension in one spot, then that tension goes through the whole elastic. Muscles, the same idea. We want to keep that space open and available, say in our neck, in our legs, so that as our back muscles start to relax, grab your strap, wrap it around that left foot. As your back muscles start to relax, you can cross it if you want. There's space for those muscles to relax and loosen without causing tension and tightness in the rest of our body. Again, stretching through that left leg. You can bend and straighten with your breath. Inhale to release. Exhale to stretch. Push through that heel. When you feel ready, again, whether you're in your strap or your legs up the wall, again, if you're in legs up the wall, bend that right foot into the wall. Just let it relax. And we're going to corkscrew. Someone's holding that heel. Big breath in. Exhale to the outer line of the body. Inhale, center. Exhale to the inside. Nice long leg. Lift it up and out of that hip. It's corkscrewing all the way down into that hip socket. So it's almost as if someone has a cast on your ankle, right? You're not just twisting your foot. It's that whole line of your leg that's going. 7. One more in each direction. And again, give yourself a break if you need to in your grip. Relax those arms. Circles, whether you want to do those big hip circles, whether they need to be smaller, or again, if you do want to bend that knee and do them. Mindful of how you feel. Reversing direction. Again, we just want to get that hip moving. Wherever you are, maybe we take one more stretch up. And also be mindful, anything that we're doing here, you don't need to lift your head independently. That's one thing that can also cause a lot of strain. So really keep that spine nice and long on the mat. Big stretch. Let it go. Give that knee another little hug. You can stretch those legs long. Bend them however you need, wherever you feel comfortable. Bring those arms back into a little cactus, if this feels okay for you. Few more deep breaths. Again, gentle dropping of that head side to side. If this causes any pull, don't do it. And I'll invite you here maybe to take a big breath. You can stretch those arms a little bit overhead. Fingertips to toe tips. Exhale. Maybe bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your abdomen. You can close your eyes if you feel comfortable. And take a big breath in. Exhale it out, let it go. Together we take that big breath in and out. Let it go. I thank you for joining me. I thank you for honoring your body and keeping yourself moving, doing what you need to do to feel good, to feel whole, and to heal slowly. I invite you to just stay here as long as you need. Get up however you need. If there's someone in the house with you that can help you, whether you want to come up like this or again, roll, I would say gently onto that sore side so your hand pressure is your all right side. If someone's there with you that can help you by lifting and holding your head, guiding you by your head with the weight, I would recommend that you have that person help you get up. And again, I thank you for being here. And I thank you for joining me, and have a wonderful day.